And regarding timing, the speakers will be informed in advance how much time they have for a question. They will get a yellow light and a yellow card at 15 seconds, and when their time is up, their time is up, and I've let them know that I will cut them off because that's the only way to be fair. So candidates, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Eric Drake Weiner Jr., we are beginning with you. We want to ask about your key qualifications and accomplishments to be mayor of Hawaii County, but as somebody who is not known to have held office nor had a position leading an organization like the county, which has a $463 million budget and around more than 2,500 employees, please be specific as to your qualifications and accomplishments that would make you reasonably equipped to hold the office of mayor. And this is a 90-second question.
Mahalo, thank you for inviting me here, and thanks for allowing me to go first and with such an important question. My name is Eric Drake Weinert, and my qualifications for mayor are that I have, despite being young, I have been mentored by some very, very esteemed people throughout the community. Managing money, my dad is a CPA, and so from a young age, he's taught me how to balance books, how to manage a budget, how to run a spreadsheet. During my high school years, I was in JROTC, and I worked my way up from being a cadet private all the way to being a cadet colonel and being in charge of the entire East Hawaii Brigade. So managing my entire staff, which is very similar to an executive office of the mayor, where you have cabinet members and department heads to run things. And so I know how to delegate authority and bring that out. And really what I want to bring to the county is the leadership. I think this past administration has done a wonderful job. And I would like to keep continuity by enabling those folks to continue to do what they're doing. And as the mayor, just to set some leadership towards an ecological and ecotourism friendly health zone for all of us to enjoy. Mahalo.
Thank you. Mr. Wah, you also, to my knowledge, have not held office, so talk about what your accomplishments and qualifications are to lead this county. 90 seconds.
Hi, I'm Timothy Wah. I grew up in Lanakila housing, so it's been an interesting life so far. I started a business at 17, 18, and I began the journey of trying to chase the American dream and the dollar. Venturing off into that, I also basically went into ministry, which wasn't the brightest move in my entire life, but it has bore a lot of fruit. So what I do is, in a nonprofit setting, you always have to stretch. You always have to scrape by. You always have to stretch the dollar. So we have accomplished the unthinkable. We have educated so many children that have fallen through the cracks. Joyland Preschool exists now as a part of my ministry. We are the only SPED preschool, to our knowledge, on the Big Island. We have partnerships with the DOE and also with Easter Seals. That lends itself to us, especially myself, understanding how to make things work. You have to always, always be mindful of people. My entire life has been about people. 33 years as an athletics coach in Hilo as well. Some of you recognize me, or my last name, as our family has been entrenched in a lot of sports. My mother was a county clerk, I guess the secretary of the Hawaii County Council for years and years. So we have a good working knowledge. I understand how this all works. We are ready to go and get the things needed to be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. McCandless, you also have not held office, so please help us understand what makes you qualified to hold the office of mayor.
Aloha, I'm Shannon McCandless. Thank you for having me here tonight. So for me, running for mayor comes from a different perspective. I work for the county. I've been in the county for 6.5 years. I have my degree. So my degree is in public administration. And with that, it comes from an ivory tower, an idea of how things should operate. But I was fortunate. I got in at the bottom. I started off as a clerk, and I worked my way up to what I am now, the supervising driver's license examiner. With that, I've seen a lot. I've been able to work from the bottom, understand the job, work with the community, be a part of the community, and then continue to grow and understand the administrative side of it. Currently, as a supervising driver's license examiner, I'm responsible for overseeing managing my division, making my budget, which I operate, which is $1.4 million annual budget, and seeing how the overall system works, best practices, what doesn't. Having to deal with daily operations, the bureaucracy, but also servicing the communities, hearing the needs, and trying best to put the two together. For me, running for Hawaii County Mayor means that I have a responsibility, especially because I went to school and I was fortunate enough to, and I was supported by so many other people to do what is right, to give ourselves an option and to bring our community into a new era. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lau, you have been Deputy Managing Director after being Deputy Managing Director, so you actually have been responsible for some of the things we're talking about, but help us understand what qualifications and accomplishments you can speak to make you worthy to be our mayor.
Okay, thank you very much. Aloha. I think first and foremost, what makes me qualified is that I've dedicated my life to public service. And secondly, having the opportunity to work alongside Mayor Billy Kinoy for the past 7 years has thrown me into situations where you have to be real quick on your feet. You have to respond to understand the daily operations of county government, such as in West Hawaii here, being in charge of and developing the West Hawaii Civic Center from ground up, pulling that whole project together on a timely basis and on time and on budget, to the mid-level road that we all enjoy. Again, thrust into a situation where you have to work together within the county as well as partners outside of the county to achieve a common goal in a timely way, in a timely fashion. The managing director is basically the person that pulls the county staff, cabinet members all together to achieve a common goal, to stay within budget, to assure the community that our interest is only for their interests alone, to make sure that we all can work together as a family, as one island and as one family, to assure the community that we have their best interests in mind at all times.
Thank you. Mr. Kim, you have been mayor of the county, and here you are. So talk about why you want to run for mayor again and what you accomplished in any of the jobs to make you worthy to be our mayor again, please. 90 seconds.
Back when I ran thank you very much, ran the first time, that question was asked in regards to why I was running. I find it ironic, it's almost exactly the same thing. At that time, there were a lot of criticisms or concerns about the trust of our government. It seems to be a standing affair. And I ran basically on that because I was your civil defense administrator for 24 years. And one thing I learned about that job is that if you do not have the trust of the people that you are leading, which includes the federal, state, and county, and the private people, but especially the community, you're not going to be able to do your job. The second part in regards to after finishing 2 terms, and hopefully we did a good job in regard to earning your trust, and that's something you have to do. You have to earn your trust. In regards to running for mayor the 3rd time, that was a very difficult and hard decision to make, to come back and run. I think some of you may know that I put into writing exactly why I was running. I met a gentleman, and I won't mention his name, he's sitting out there, and when he asked me why I was running, and I said because of Act 55, 97, and a community development plan process. And he said to me, you know, that's not warm and fuzzy. It's not warm and fuzzy why I'm running now. I think we have to build up on a trust again, and I feel that in regards to home rule is a major issue of those acts. You know, we sway from it.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Now, before we started, I did tell the candidates I would do that, and Harry informed me that I've already done this to him at least 5 times in the past. So apparently he likes it. Mr. Hoffman, 90 seconds. Now, you have been chair of Hawaii County Council. You served as a council member for 8 years, chair for 2 years, but you have not been mayor and not really run the county. So talk about what in your background, what in your accomplishments will make you the mayor, the good mayor.
Thank you, Sherry, and thank you to the Kona Kahala Chamber and Community Enterprises for having this forum. My qualifications as mayor, I think, stem from the 28 years combat veteran. I retired in the rank of colonel. I learned my leadership skills, the importance of good organization, and the ability to choose the best possible people to do the job at hand. Serving in an international environment, I also worked with a number of people from different backgrounds and cultures, and I was able to develop negotiation and mediation skills that I think continue to help me be a successful leader here in Hawaii. When we came here, my wife and I, we used those skills in the public sector, and we tried to join different activities and participate in different organizations. My council experience, and being 2 years as chair of the council, provided me an excellent insight and knowledge of county affairs. Serving on a number of boards of directors since that time, as well as regent for the University of Hawaii, I think I have the skills in order to make the proper decisions at the right time in the right place. As your mayor, I can do better than the previous 2 administrations. I bring a wealth of experience and knowledge to the office of mayor, coupled with unquestioned integrity, the ability to make certain that we make decisions listening to all sides of the question, and the willingness to promote open government. In restoring trust in government.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. Ms. Hapai, to my knowledge, you have not held elective office, but you have had some experience leading at the university level. So talk to us about your accomplishments, your qualifications to be mayor of Hawaii County, please. 90 seconds.
Aloha. I think I offer a very diversified background that will be beneficial to this island. Not only having been born and raised in Honokaa and living in 4 of the districts that are on this island, but I have a very strong administrative background, both in government and small business. Government, I was program chair, division chair in the natural sciences, assistant director of Napua Noeau. I was associate dean for the College of Agriculture and Human Resources, and also a member of the Board of Regents that handled a budget of more than $1 billion and also managed 10 different campuses. And on the small business side, we have our Andrade building in Honokaa that I manage today. Also, my background in the sciences will be very helpful to this island because of all the emergency situations we have to respond to. And then I've been very active in community involvement, president of many organizations. You can read my little card that I have on the table, and have been very successful in getting government, business, and community organizations to work together. And to me, that's what it's going to take to have this county be successful in the future. Collaboration, not competition. Inter-island, as well as throughout government at all levels.
Thank you. Mr. Bryant, again, I don't believe you've held elective office, so tell us about yourself, your accomplishments, your qualifications to be mayor. 90 seconds.
Thank you. In my years abroad, I spent more than 30 years in Japan, where I organized a number of exhibitions and charity shows. When we learned that some of the people here have organized or run offices that are in excess of $1 million, I think, well, gee, I'm right there too, because my charity shows in Tokyo, the first one that they've ever had in Tokyo actually, brought in over $1 million for the handicapped, which was not a easy sell at that particular time. I'm kind of feeling that one of the things that everybody is overlooking is the fact that there are a lot of aspects of daily life that each one of us has in store, in experience themselves. And these experiences themselves are almost better than book learning, in my opinion. I have 30 years of international work and study, and now I have 27 years here in the islands doing a little bit of everything, frankly, from ranching and farming to running a small business. So I kind of feel that those experiences are going to help me find the right people to help run the government in the proper way. Thank you.
Thank you. One of the people who sent in a question through the website had a very simple question, and I'm technically going to give you 30 seconds, but I assume it'll take you about 10 seconds to ask, which is, and you're going to start, Mr. Weiner, what do you think the most important issue is for Hawaii Island? And we clearly understand that this is not an easy question to answer, but it sounded like an intriguing question that came in through the website. So, Eric Drake Weinert Jr., do you think is the most important issue for Hawaii Island?
The most important issue, I think, in Hawaii Island is continuing to make Hawaii County a livable place so that our families and children can make a great living here, that we can respect our ecology, that we can have a great economy, and that we don't feel like our future generations have to move away to go and make it in the world, that we can be right here and earn a great living.
Thank you. Mr. Wah, most important issue.
I think the most important issue that's pressing Hawaii County right now is the length of time it takes to get a building permit. It's utterly ridiculous because there's a lot of counties out in the nation. You can get a building permit the same day you submit for a building permit.
Thank you. Ms. McCandless, most important issue.
The most important issue for Hawaii County is actually sustainability. So it's not just about creating more agriculture, but it's sustaining our current communities. The reasons why many of us live here, why so many people move to Hawaii Island, is because of its beauty, because of its unique environment and community. And we need to be able to sustain these things, not just for now, but for the future as well. Thank you.
Mr. Lau, most important issue.
I think the most important issue is to sustain our economy, moving it forward, which equates to meaningful jobs, which equates to healthy families, which equates then to healthy communities along the way. So it's finding the opportunities for more jobs in our community.
Thank you. Mr. Kim.
I said this back in mid-'80s. I think the biggest problem facing us then is the same as today. We're developing a lifestyle here of the government, of economics, of everything that's making it very, very difficult for people to live here. The gap between the have and the have-nots it has become a very serious homeless issue now. This morning's paper said 50% near are having a hard time. That's got to be the biggest problem.
Thank you. Mr. Hoffman, biggest issue.
Biggest issue, in my opinion, is that there are too many people on this island who live at or below the federal poverty level. Until we address poverty, regardless of what else we do, no matter how well-intentioned, it's going to have very little value. Until we address the idea that too few people have enough to eat and too many people are not being housed in proper quarters, I don't think we're doing the job we're supposed to do as a community and an island. In my opinion, we have to address these issues now.
Ms. Hapai.
To me, the biggest issue is our health and safety infrastructure. Hawaii being known as the #1 county in the nation for the number of natural hazards that can occur at any time, we are not prepared. And to me, this is something we really need to work on. And that is something I would have a major focus. And I've done some work in that area already, and I feel it's very important.
Thank you. Mr. Bryant, biggest issue.
I have to agree with former Mayor Kim and Council Member, I'm sorry, gone right out of my
Hoffman.
head there.
Pete Hoffman.
Pete, I apologize. It is poverty, and we have untold numbers of people that worry about their housing and their food for their table. We have more than 40% of our people on this island use EBT or the food stamps. This is unconscionable in an island that should be producing its own food rates.
Thank you very much.